Now, in 1953, Phil Frampton's unmarried mother was forced to give him up as a baby. Despite being desperate to see him, she died before he managed to trace his birth family years later. In the second part of her series on forced adoption, Abby Jones has been to meet Phil, who's now backing calls for the government to apologise.
These are the only photos Phil Frampton has with his mother, Mavis. She gave him up as a baby. For years, it seemed he'd been casually abandoned.
Some women kept their children despite everything. So I was always a little bit, well, why didn't she?
But over the years, Phil and his half-brother Jan have pieced together a different story. In 1953, Mavis, a music teacher, wasn't just unmarried and pregnant. The baby's father was black.
If you were a teacher and it was discovered that you were pregnant out of wedlock, then you would certainly lose your job. My mother's mother found out that she was going out with a black man, and so she contacted the Home Office and Colonial Office and got him kicked out of the country.
With no family support, Mavis had Phil at a home for unmarried mothers. She never took him home. Many there were pressured into adoption. Phil's skin colour meant he was deemed unadoptable and he grew up in care. But Mavis's letters show a desperate yearning to be reunited with her son. That never happened, and Mavis went on to have a second family, keeping Phil a secret.
I have a lot more sympathy for her now. I understand how much unmarried mothers went through in that era. Those homes were run by people who were 50% funded by government. So government has a heavy hand in all this situation.
Good.
So Phil is backing a call for a government apology on forced adoption. It has so far refused, saying there was no official policy to say sorry for. Abby Jones, BBC North West Tonight, Manchester.
Now, scientists